Don't do the repeat.
Read the intro.
Yeah. Two. Ready. Fish, you all right? One, ready.
Good morning and welcome. Sorry, this is the first time I've done this with a mask on. Please remain standing for the invocation led by Joseph Pritchett, Director of Faith and Meaning.
As we gather here today to celebrate new beginnings, let us first give thanks. Reach down inside yourself to that place where gratitude rests, because you're here. You faced the challenges of this past year and a half, and you are here now. In this present moment, let us be grateful for that, and grateful for all those who helped us get here and will help us in the days to come. As we come together to usher in the academic year and embrace the hope that comes with new beginnings and new places, I ask these things. May you seek knowledge, question often, think deeply and critically. May you find community, celebrate difference, come to know one another, and in those experiences, come to know yourself. May you know this as a place where you belong, where we all recognize our inherent human dignity. May you rise to the challenge, embracing the successes and struggles that lie ahead. Open yourself up to the possibilities of this time and place, these experiences and people. Let us now be open to what this day and every day following it might offer. Amen, and you may be seated.
Good morning, class of 2025. On behalf of the Division of Enrollment Management, welcome to Franklin and Marshall College, to the 518 new first-year students and 17 transfer students. This past year, the Admissions Committee reviewed the third largest and one of the most competitive applicant pools in our history. In total, we read and evaluated more than 7,000 applications. Throughout the process, we were repeatedly impressed by the talents and achievements we discovered. We had the difficult task of selecting the very best. Ultimately, we offered a seat in the class to just over 1/3 of all the applicants. My congratulations for being in that select group. Each of you brings with you the talent and the ability to thrive in the F&M community. You are diverse in the many challenges you have overcome and the adversity you have faced. You come from 428 high schools, and you represent 39 different countries of citizenship. There is no doubt you bring unique perspectives. But just as we celebrate the different stories that led you here today, we cannot forget that you are all united by at least one common experience. No matter where you came from, each of you shares in the experience of the pandemic over the last 18 months. My advice is to use that common experience to your collective advantage. Make it a positive. You've had to adapt in this time of hardship and the unknown. And whether you realize it yet or not, each of you is more resilient than ever before. Blend your impressive experiences and accomplishments with your shared resiliency. And at graduation, when you look back over these next 4 years, I have no doubt that you will be celebrating the results. I'm pleased and proud to present to the faculty the class of 2025 and transfer students.
On behalf of the faculty of the college, I welcome and accept the class of 2025 and the transfer students. And to the newest members of the FNMLE, welcome, you've found your way home.
Good morning. Oh, come on. Good morning. Thank you. On behalf of Franklin and Marshall College, we will now invest the student leaders of the college houses for the 2021-22 academic year with the authority to govern their houses. In this ceremony, I am exercising the authority entrusted to me by the Board of Trustees and recognizing the house governments as formal parts of the college governance system. In so doing, I am affirming that our students are partners in the college's commitment to foster a residential environment where faculty and students come together to reason, discuss, talk, and learn. Dawn Butterfield?
It is my great privilege and honor to introduce to you the Consul of Rochelle College House, Timothy Burke, class of 22.
It is my great honor to present to you Kelsey Baird, Chair of the Weiss College House Assembly of Peers.
It is my distinct pleasure and honor to present to you Anuj Gimire, member of the class of 2022, Prime Minister of Ware College House Parliament.
It's my very great pleasure to introduce to you Maureen Adames, class of 2022, President of the Brooks College House Congress.
Okay, on behalf of Bonchak College House, it is my great pleasure to introduce to you our co-chancellors, Sarah Neisel and Kate McBride.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I cause Consul Burke, Chair Baird, Prime Minister Gimire, President Adames, and Co-Chancellors Neisel and McBride to be invested as the leader of your college houses. I wish you well as you take up the challenges of leading your college houses, colleagues. Now then, will the members of the class of 2025 and transfer students please rise? Thank you, and now you're going to take a pledge with regard to your college house. Class of 2025 and transfer students, do you pledge to uphold the standards and accept the responsibilities of being a member of your college house? If so, please respond enthusiastically by saying, "We will." Nicely done. Thank you. Please be seated. Not only enthusiastically, but in unison. Well done, folks. Okay. It's now my pleasure to introduce our new students to two of the most accomplished and respected members of the Franklin and Marshall community. Representing your fellow students is Michaela Ranges. Michaela is a senior. Yes, that's worth a round of applause. You'll be seeing a lot of her this year. Michaela is a senior with a joint major in biology and government and a minor in Spanish. She's originally from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and now hails from South Bend, Indiana. Michaela is president of Diplomatic Congress, meaning she is your student body president. She's been a member of the Debate Club, the Harwood Scholars, and the Model United Nations here at F&M. She also is the student representative on our Pandemic Operations Response Team, known as PORT, and serves on the Board of Trustees Committee on Academic Life. A few months ago, Michaela was selected as a Truman Scholar. That scholarship is named for the former U.S. president and recognizes outstanding leadership, academic excellence, and a commitment to a career in government or the nonprofit sector. Michaela is one of only 62 students selected nationally from 845 candidates, and she is just the second Truman Scholar in F&M history. Representing the faculty is Dr. Alexis Castor, Associate Professor of Classics, who also serves as the department's chair. Professor Castor has taught at F&M since 2000, and last year she earned the Lindback Foundation Award for Distinguished Teaching, which is the highest honor for teaching given at the college. Professor Castor is a renowned research scholar, specializing in researching the people of the ancient Mediterranean, through everything from their wearing of jewelry to their burial practices, and for many years she has involved her students in her research, mentoring them as they present their original research at regional and national conferences. Her colleagues praise her innovation in designing and implementing new courses and in revising existing courses, reaching beyond the usual scope of the classics curriculum with courses like Race and Ethnicity in the Ancient World. She also is in much demand as an academic advisor and mentors students through both the Booth Ferris and the Posse Scholar programs. Professor Castor and Michaela will now share how they define success at F&M from their respective perspectives as professor and student. Please join me in welcoming them to the podium.
Like many of you, my journey to college was unconventional. I worked tirelessly to receive a full-funded college degree so I could alleviate the financial pressures from my parents. I was at a crossroads about what school to attend. On May 1st, 2018, I chose F&M. Regardless of how you got here or why you chose to attend F&M chose you. On August 21st, 2018, I embarked on my new journey as a first-generation college student. My mom, my mentor, and I made the 10-hour drive from South Bend, Indiana, not knowing what to expect when I arrived to my new home. I remember being moved in on a rainy day to my second-floor dorm in Bonchek, best house. When I arrived, I didn't know anyone, anything, especially not what a sheets run was. I guarantee many of you can relate to that experience as the pandemic has halted your ability to come to campus or even visit the Lancaster community. You cannot prepare for anything, especially with what has happened to me during my time here at F&M. Someone should have told me that college is a mixed bag of messy, fun, and enlightening times. To getting here and not knowing where it was, to inadvertently erasing what made me a unique individual so I could be more digestible to predominantly white spaces, to thinking about transferring, and now to being student body president. I am not the same Michaela who sat in those seats 3 years ago. Here I am, a senior, after 18 months of a pandemic, looking at a crowd trying to convey what my journey was. I became more comfortable standing out and standing alone when it came to what I wanted, because we do not all fit in the same boxes. We do not all come from the same towns. Entering senior year, I am grateful for the mentorship, the counseling, and the relationships I have formed, because continuously I am reminded to be bold and intentional about the person I aspire to be. This time and this journey is for us to transform what we think is our vision into our mission.
She's got more, so you can save the applause. The personal journey that Michaela is sharing is one that my faculty colleagues and I witness every year, and it is truly one of the pleasures of our profession. First years arrive anxiously asking specific questions about how many pages of reading they have that night or what a term means. And of course, there's every professor's favorite, will this be on the exam? To which I always reply, it is now. I call these survival questions from students just trying to make it through their first semester. But once you've achieved that, the next year's musings are more expansive. Do I still want the same major I thought I did at 17? You've become friends with people from different cultures who make you reflect on your own habits of mind. You have mastered scientific principles and social policies that you never knew. And you wonder more and more how you can shape your future. And that's when you start asking thriving questions, where you seek advice from faculty mentors. And these are the conversations that we value most, because those talks are tailored to you. You can't thrive if you are trying to fulfill a vision of yourself that is outdated.
All this change has caused me to ask myself, what does it mean to be here authentically? When I was a first year, I heard seniors talk about how they could not bring their authentic selves to the spaces of this predominantly white institution because the school wasn't made for them. I was ignorant to think that we could all feel comfortable. Without acknowledging systemic flaws tied to our shared history as a college, we fail to create an inclusive environment. We need to be mindful of the space we take up, the positions that we hold, and the voices we opt not to hear, no matter where we are on campus or in the world. What does it mean to carve out spaces on this campus when you feel like it's working against you? It means finding individuals who can relate to your experience of being a woman in color, a woman in leadership, and a first-gen student. It also means not being ashamed about sharing your experiences and making your voice heard. What does carving out space look like to you? Because your voice has power and it has weight.
To authentically engage with your learning is a slippery concept. You will be very busy here. 4 professors, 4 different subjects, all with specific, sometimes contrary demands. But being busy and being authentically engaged are not equivalent. You will learn the difference between fulfilling requirements and really thinking about class discussions and wondering about the readings. In your junior or senior year, you will remember a class from your first year that helped you imagine a different future for yourself than the one you have right now. Everyone says this. I know you're going to roll your eyes, but do try a new subject. Move beyond your interest, career goals, and yes, even your passion, to take a course that challenges your assumptions. Authentic learning is a creative process, and the end result is yourself. That's worth the risk.
What keeps you here when you want to leave? During my second semester of my first year, I began my transfer applications. I was looking for a campus of social justice-minded global citizens who were prepared to take on political, social, and economic issues. And I did not find it here for a while. It was until the fall semester of my second year where I found the community individuals who were ready to stand up. What kept me here was a strong leadership of student government and our ability to make systemic changes. Had the students not demanded for accountability across all levels, I would not have realized the platform that I have on this campus to vocalize and implement long-needed changes. Finding a home in a strange place takes time, and you cannot rush the process. A home isn't perfect, it has its flaws. Not every day in college is going to be sunny, but the sun will come back. And it will be a new day filled with laughter and food and tears of joy from seeing your friend rip his pants in the middle of salsa night. There will be moments that you remember for a lifetime.
And these are also memories you'll want to recall in moments of despair. The workload, the speed of the semester, February, every February is a slog. All of these can weigh you down. But when you get to the bottom, remember that many others have been here. You are not the first, and you are not the only person who has felt this way. You will not always get the grades that you expect. Students tell me they feel that their high school didn't prepare them for college, or how they can't do languages, or math, or reading, or writing. And sometimes the same student will tell me all of that. And then they can make this mantra a self-fulfilling prophecy. But this is exactly when you need to talk with your professors. I know that students are embarrassed to talk about a poor assignment, but I guarantee you that ignoring it will not improve the situation. Faculty have many strategies to help you succeed academically, and the more collaboratively you work with us, the better the whole experience will be. Some of my most effective letters of recommendation have been for students who have worked hard for a pretty mediocre grade, because I can describe how they did everything possible to achieve their best outcome.
So the next big question is, what do you give here, and how do you connect in a new environment? I give my knowledge, my input, and my heart back into community, which I wholeheartedly care about, and I want to see thrive. I think that the most reassuring piece you need to understand is that you have so much to give, and never let someone else tell you otherwise. But I'm letting you know that if you have the passion to solve an issue or approach a problem, do it. I'm looking out and I'm seeing some revolutionary thinkers, activists, future business leaders, scientists, you name it. In hindsight, I wish I understood earlier the power of my voice and the access to the world that I have. But I'm here to tell you that you have that power, because to be here is more than your grades. It is a transition to the adult that you want to be.
When Michaela and I met a couple of weeks ago to discuss these remarks, I had no access to her academic record, and she had no experience of me as a professor. But what resonated with both of us is the true success story of college. Confidence is gained not from being tested by faculty, but by you testing your full capacity as a young adult. This success cannot be captured on your transcript. But every day, you will be pulling out a tangible reminder of where you are right now, your photo ID. You need to keep this with you for the next 4 years to get anywhere on this campus. But I guarantee you that you will not recognize yourself when you look at this ID for the last time in 4 years. You will have changed physically, but that pales in comparison to the social, emotional, and intellectual maturity that you will see when you look back at this photo of your first week on campus. Thank you.
Thank you, Michaela. Thank you, Alexis. Well done. I'm going to make a few remarks, and then we will have the singing of our alma mater, and Michaela will come back to explain that, and then the Lux et Lex walk, which we moved to today rather than the day that your families left. So before I make my remarks, I simply want to ask you to look around. You are quite literally surrounded by people who support you. I'm so touched at how many faculty are here, how many professional staff members are here, how they're up at the sides and at the back, and they've got your flank. This is what your experience will be like. You are surrounded by people to support you. I also want to thank everyone involved in making this such a success. Our organizer, Stacy Thornwell-Rogers, our facilities and operations colleagues who get it all set up and make it look so beautiful, public safety who saw you cross the street safely, the teams who are here, the upper class students who are here. We're all here because we genuinely are thrilled to see you, and this is a very important moment in your young lives. I'm delighted to follow on the remarks of Professor Castor and Student Body President Michaela Ranges. I'm going to take their lead and expand on the topic of defining success. You heard their advice as leaders of the faculty and in student government, and I will talk to you briefly about what success looks like for you as a class and for all of us as a college community. Convocation, this ritual that we are enacting this morning, which makes us bring out our robes, which are based on medieval models, it's a big event that marks the official beginning of your shared journey. The Latin word convocation means to call together, and this is the ceremony that brings you together as a whole class for the first time. Right now, you're no doubt feeling some mixture of anticipation, fatigue, trepidation. A recent survey of the high school senior class of 2021 concluded that graduates were feeling exhausted but optimistic. Much the same is true of faculty and staff, and there's a good reason for that complicated blend of excitement and nervousness. You first-year and transfer students have experienced so much disruption and so many missed experiences. One of the seniors here today said the past year was a great big mess with pockets of sunshine. And one of my colleagues recently wrote, the past year was one of many accomplishments, albeit amongst a sea of challenges. You lived, learned, socialized, shopped, played differently. You finished your high school diplomas despite everything. You managed a college search despite a pandemic, sometimes without the chance to see the schools that you were considering. It's no wonder that as we near the 18-month mark of living through a pandemic, many students and parents have expressed their deep desire for something more normal, a more normal academic year than what we experienced last year on college campuses and in high schools, as you can surely attest. That combination of anticipation and anxiety is normal and it's healthy. I have referred often in my 3 years at FNM to Ampersand Moments. The ampersand is that tantalizing typographical symbol in the middle of our college name. It means and it hangs there in the middle of our name like a rich space of possibility. What will you combine? You can't even imagine it yet. You will experience many ampersand moments during your years at Franklin and Marshall. You'll see success and failure, exhaustion and exhilaration, sorrow and joy, and all of those are part of a true college experience. And they will continue right up through your commencement, which will come much faster than you think it will, when you're likely to feel great happiness and pride in your upcoming graduation and already nostalgia for your F&M experience, your beloved professors and friends, and your favorite spots on campus. You'll be ready to go, and you'll be sad to leave. Did you see the tassel on your chair? You may be sitting on it. If you're sitting on it, you can take it out now. That tassel, that little token, is a promise of the compact between you and the college. You will do everything in your power to succeed while you are here, and we will do everything we can to help you. In the immediate future, we still have to embrace the ampersand realities of attending college in a pandemic. We're emerging from a crisis, and actually learning to live with COVID in our midst. We are both returning to a more normal academic year to fulfill our mission and practicing caution for the health and safety of our community. And I applaud you. Every single face I see has a mask on. Well done. I'm proud of our ongoing commitment to one another's well-being and to public health, which has paved the way for your successful return here for a full in-person experience. From my perspective as president, what I want most beyond your individual success is for us to succeed as a community. We need every one of us to commit to the principle that in order to be our best, we have to support one another so that we can all get to the finish line together. We are a diverse community, and we need to work every single day on that sense of togetherness, on the sense of belonging. More than ever, more than any other year, I am counting on everyone here, on each of you, on your willingness and determination to get out of your comfort zone, to go out of your way to meet, to connect with people who grew up differently than you did, to stretch until it hurts, to stretch and grow and go far beyond the tried and true, way beyond what you already know and what you know you are good at and enjoy. The world, including this country, is rife with very real struggles, sometimes existential struggles, as well as environmental challenges, human tragedy, and need. You have only to think of Afghanistan, of Haiti, of the Middle East, of Louisiana, and so many more. There are many hard conversations going on and much division. We here need to model how to have those conversations, how to listen as much as expound on our beliefs. I promise you that we will hold those conversations here this year and in the future among students, faculty, and professional staff. And I can promise you that every one of your professors is ready to talk to you, whatever your differences of opinion might be, in search of better understanding among people of goodwill. You may find that you and your thinking change. In fact, it's pretty much inevitable. You and we are not doing our jobs if you don't mature and evolve in your understanding and analytical skills, no matter how thoughtful and accomplished you may already be. Ultimately, of course, that's the purpose of a liberal arts education, to produce great thinkers, people who look at the world and at their own homes from multiple perspectives, who can bring diverse and differently trained minds together to wrestle with the so many serious issues we need to define, to address, and to solve. That's the kind of graduate we produce here. We produce leaders at all levels who take on the most intractable, the most difficult problems, and who find the most dazzling opportunities for the good of us all. We've been summing it up in one sentence. The world actually needs more diplomats, and we produce them here. You're now part of a lifelong community of diplomats who assist and inspire one another, supporting the generations who come after you just as much as you benefit from the help of our almost 29,000 alumni. While you are here, we count on you, I am counting on you, to extend to others, to go beyond your own immediate circle, to seek out, share with, and learn from other students, as well as from faculty, staff, coaches, alumni. To make this a truly inclusive and welcoming community, to go out of your way to connect. We all have work to do on that front, to recognize and reckon with our past, our present, and our future. In closing, I'm going to take an important step this morning in our institutional commitment to awareness and equity. For the very first time at Convocation, F&M is making a land acknowledgement, which is a very meaningful statement that, as a Canadian, I'm very well familiar with. This statement is the work of a group led by Professor and Dawn Marianne Levine that has been conducting research for more than a year now and had its origins in a request brought to me by a large number of students, staff, and faculty. Since all land acknowledgements must be tied to action and advocacy, the Land Acknowledgement Committee has been consulting with local Native partners. The statement may evolve as we learn more. For today, I'm happy to state the following. We gather today on the homeland of Native peoples whose history is integral to our past and present, but long denied. In addition to the Susquehannock who lived here in the 17th century, this land was home to the Lenape, the Nanticoke, the Piscataway, the Seneca and Haudenosaunee Confederacy, the Shawnee, and others throughout the millennia. We acknowledge that Franklin and Marshall College's presence here is a direct legacy of settler colonialism. As a college community, we commit ourselves to the ongoing work of acknowledging and respecting those who came before us on these lands and to act collectively in support of Native communities. Thank you. That's been a long time coming. Very shortly, we will be moving across campus after we sing the alma mater to celebrate your arrival in our midst with the Lux et Lex walk. DIPCON President Michaela Ranges is going to come to the podium again to lead us into those last two activities of this, your first event as a full class. I'm going to end with a couple of more thank yous. Thank you to Libby, our sign language interpreter, and to our wonderful musicians on my right, on your left. And thank you to everyone on the platform party. I'll be at the Lux at Lex walk along with everyone else, applauding you as you come through that gate in the heart of campus. And I'm already looking forward to 3 2/3 years from now when you're processing down the other way at your graduation. In the meantime, I look forward to seeing much more of every one of you over the next several years. President Ranges, would you come forward again, please? Thank you all.
Here at F&M, we have a couple traditions. The first is a Lux It Lex walk. This tradition begins with the first-year students stepping through the Lux It Lex archway to become a member of the F&M community for life. The Lux It Lex bridge connects you as a first-year student to your journey that culminates with a walk that you will take as a senior prior to commencement, to signal your entry into the F&M Alumni Association. The metal archway is inscribed with F&M's motto, Lux et Lex, which means Latin for light and law. The second tradition is the alma mater song. I invite you all to stand for the song, which will be played behind me. A few minutes after the alma mater song, we will do the Lux et Lex walk, so follow the College House marshals after the platform party leaves. We will lead you all out to complete the walk.
With one accord indeed.
Can you hear me? That concludes our program. I will be leading the procession out to the Lux at Lux Arch, and I look forward to seeing you all on the other side. Thank you so much.